couple. I didn't know you were playing, and I'm just saying you gotta weigh in.
Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. Also welcome if you are new. Alright, so today we are tackling a bunch of stuff around the house. I was actually trying to get as much done as possible now that the drywall on the ceilings is up and everything. We wanted to have company over. My sister is on vacation, or she was on vacation down here. So we were having her over, my aunt and uncle, my dad. My mom was still in Sturgis for the bike event. So I wanted to get the house getting as good as possible before people came over. And one of those things was getting this tile down and painting the kitchen and the dining room and all of those different areas. I know we probably have a little bit of time before the kitchen goes completely in. And painting this kitchen honestly just came to a point of I wanted it to look and feel clean. So even though I know cabinets are going to go over these walls and I know backsplash is going to go over these walls, I just knew I would feel more comfortable with a fresh coat of paint over everything. So that is what we are working on today. But we first have to demo out all of this old tile, and then I do go in and try and touch up some of the wall area because you can see as I pull it down there are some areas that got a little wonky. Plus we are always finding surprises of things that were just covered up and not completely fixed up, so I had to go in and fix those as well.
Turn your back on me, so I turn my back on you, and now we're stuck in this charade. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, babe. Oh, you wipe some tears by the look in your eyes. I know you were trouble right out of the gate, and now you're standing here, but to me it's too late. Oh, you walked away, you paid the price. Oh, you wiped some tears by the look in your eyes. I know you were trouble right out of the gate, and now you're standing here, but to me it's too late. Now you're standing here, but to me it's too late. Now you're standing here, but to
Oh, I also wanted to jump on here and let you guys know I got a message from our last video that you guys are getting comments that seem a little funky, either a weird giveaway or something about Bitcoin or anything like that, but it looks like it's from me. If it doesn't seem like something I would comment, 100% just ignore it. Often you can click on the profiles and you can easily tell by clicking on it that is not my account. They're just making like a clone account to look like me, and it's not me. So I wanted to put that out there, and I wanted to do that early in this video. That way everyone knew. Unfortunately, that is the thing with any type of online stuff. People will always try to take advantage of people in any way possible. So make sure you guys are protecting yourself. And if it looks like I'm sending you a weird message that I wouldn't normally do, just ignore it. And if you click on the profile and it's obviously not me, report it if possible. But I don't want any of you guys having to deal with that. And unfortunately, they're just not very nice people out there. So just a little bit of a heads up.
baby, hold on, bring it on. We'll be running the show, bring it on. Take it all as we go, bring it on. Let's go, bring it on. Let's roll the dice. Bring it on tonight. Let me take you higher, reaching for the sky, sitting by the fire. Here we are at last. We'll be cutting edge.
Like I said before, I'm just going in and patching all of these different areas. I'm not like completely worrying about it being perfect. But I didn't want it to be better. That way, even when I do put up the backsplash and everything, I have a smoother surface to go along. when the cabinets go up and everything. But like I said, the big thing was we know we're going to be still a good couple weeks before we have our kitchen completed. We should be getting part of the cabinets this upcoming week, but if you were watching some of my previous videos, you know some of the cabinets are delayed. So we might work on the upper cabinets next week, and then when the rest of the cabinets come in, work on the lowers. So we'll have at least half of the kitchen done, which I'm excited about. But until then, I wanted to make sure the kitchen still looked nice and we were comfortable in. And I have to say, it makes a huge difference. Even though the kitchen is not updated, it's still a huge, huge change.
Bring it on. We'll be running the show. Bring it on.
All right, everybody, I am back and I'm poolside with the kiddos. Well, Bjorn and Freya in the pool. And while they're swimming, I figured I would put together this Allen and Roth. I guess that's how you say it. Roth. Yeah, we'll go with Roth. Allen and Roth gas fire pit. Now I picked this up from Lowe's, and the reason why I picked up this one is it was a decent size because I'd like it to fill most of in front of the couch here, because I hate being out here and not having anywhere to put my drink. So table works. Fire, I like fire, especially in the colder months, which, you know, for most people, anybody from the Midwest or the northern states, the cold months down here ain't gonna be nothing like the cold months up there. So eventually my body will say, hey, 60 degrees is cold. You know, it is what it is. So that's why I got the fire pit.
All the girls, they follow you around every day. What can I do to make you mine? Just look my way, I see you try to be cool, but it's not you. I'm the one that you want. So try me, babe, watching from afar, wishing upon a star. If you could only see what I see, trying to open up your eyes that been wide shut, but I believe it's not a dream. I'm gonna change your mind about me. I gotta make you see me fit perfectly, like it's meant to be, so desperately. So just follow me, 'cause I've got the key. Let's unlock our books and find out what's inside it. Could be anything, a good thing.
There is still so much we want to do to this outdoor area, but we've been taking it kind of slow. We're still in the heat of summer, so getting everything done outside is a little bit slower of a process, but we were really excited to get this table done up. It's just really nice. Bobby has the fan done, and now this table, so when we go sit outside, it's just very comfortable. And the kids absolutely love the pool. If we allowed Bjorn and Freya to live in the pool, they would. They are out there all the time, but obviously we have the rules where Bjorn can't swim by himself, so he either has to have us outside or Xander outside. Same with Xander, even though Xander's older. I just know even us adults can fall by a pool and knock your head out and bad things happen. So we have the rules of no swimming by yourself, and then with Freya, we have to be outside when she is out there. So they don't always get to go to the pool, but man, if they get the chance, like I said, they would be out there all day. And Freya's gotten so good at learning how to like move around in her little swimmers. She is definitely going to be our little fish baby. I'm hoping, I've been trying to figure out if I can get someone to actually come to our house and teach her how to swim. Otherwise, I might look at the local YMCA or something, because I really, really want to get her into swimming lessons.
here you go. This is the table all done and running. It did come with fire rocks. It came with black fire rocks. I don't know, well, you can see them. They're the bigger rock in there. But I bought the blue cobalt blue rocks, or glass, sorry. This is all glass. Because I wanted to get a little bit of color. The table itself is all black, so black rock, black glass. I thought it would be just too much, so I wanted a little color. So we did black and blue. Seems to go good.
All right, another day, more projects. I am using Snowbound as the primary color in our house, and I absolutely love this color. It's a neutral, but it's more on the warm side, which is where I'm trying to go. I'm not going for the cooler grays in this house. I really want more of the warm tones, kind of a sandy look. Plus grays are just going out of style, just like anything else. Things slowly go out of style, and that's where grays are going, which worked perfectly for me because I knew either way I wanted this to have more of a coastal feel. So going with those blondes and warm tones, I have been absolutely loving. So like I said, this is Snowbound, and I'm actually using our sprayer with the the roller attachment, which I have a love-hate relationship with. I really like it because I like not having to go constantly back to the bucket and dipping your roller, but it is more heavy, so it's one of those things of it does go faster, but I feel like I take more breaks because my arms just get sore, the one between the motion and the two that extra weight. But I will say it has saved a ton of time. So super excited that I actually got this attachment for Christmas. I asked for the weirdest stuff for Christmas, and this was one of them. I asked for this little roller attachment, knowing we'd be moving soon and most likely have a lot of painting to do, and my mother-in-law graciously got me this, and it has been a huge time saver. So I know I talked earlier this week about it being the kids' first week of school. They have been doing so well. I'm really excited. The first day was definitely a lot. Like, Bjorn came home. He passed out real quickly. He actually fell asleep in Freya's bed. So I had to maneuver him back into his own room. Xander was definitely a little bit more overwhelmed. But after the first day, they really have been doing really good. I know that first night, though, like, Xander is a lot more like me. So when I get super tired and overwhelmed and anxious, like, I cry. It's what happens. And he's the same way. And I could tell because he doesn't like to cry. So he holds it all in. But I could tell just like the welling up in his eyes. And it just had all turned out that he was just really overwhelmed from a new school, first day of school, all the things. So I was a little bit nervous after that first night. But every other day they have been doing great. They said they've both been making friends, and so yeah, I'm very happy that they are enjoying it and doing well, because like any mom, you always have that little bit of a nerves for your kids about them doing anything new. So I'm really glad that they are doing well, and I wanted to fill you guys in because I know I mentioned in Tuesday's video how I was super emotional and overwhelmed and was just hoping that they enjoy it. It's like all those things of, did we make the right decision moving our family across the country, and them doing well is more confirmation that we are making the best decision for our family. So originally my plan was to paint the entire main living area and then move into like decorating and stuff. However, after getting this dining room done, I really just felt like I wanted to start pulling it together and making it look completed. So I've kind of changed my game plan, and instead of like doing one thing at a time, I'm trying to focus on one room of the main living area at a time. I feel like it helps with getting overwhelmed. A lot of people have messaged me saying they've done renovations before and it's a lot of work and it's very overwhelming, and it really, really is. But I have found that kind of separating it into sections, one, you see your progress a lot easier, and two, it feels less overwhelming. So after I got done painting this area, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to put in the baseboards. I'm going to decorate it as much as I can. It's still not 100%, but it's getting there. And this was definitely a much nicer way to go about it, because even though the family room's not painted yet, I can look into my dining room and it just feels homey and cozy, and seeing the progress has been really, really nice. So I'm going to start doing that with all the different areas of trying to get each section done. It may not be decorated 100%, but at least getting like the baseboards in and some start of decor and stuff is really just making it feel a lot more like home. All right, a little in between. I feel like often with camera angles, you don't see all the crazy happening behind. So I wanted to tidy up the dining room. It's a lot easier to pull in the finishing touches if it's already a clean space. So just going in and cleaning it all up, getting the light switches back on the walls. Bobby has not updated these ones yet though. So I literally just painted over them to blend into the wall. Eventually, he will be switching them out with the newer outlets as well, just so everything has a cohesive look throughout the house and a more modern look throughout the house. But until that point, I wanted to at least get the plates back on the wall. That way it just looked cleaner and nicer. You guys will be very proud of me though. I know I always say I don't have a green thumb and I kill things. However, we found these palms at Lowe's, and they're just so pretty. They also said they only have to be watered about once a week, so I think I can keep these alive. I love the way they look in the house, and I know there's so many health benefits to having real plants in your house. I did get a comment the other day from someone saying they love using, and we may have to double check. I'm pretty sure it's Easy Plant, and I might end up putting those on my Christmas list this year. So they're really cool. I looked them up, and they come with their own pot and everything, and they have a water reservoir that you fill up, and they water themselves for up to a month. And then you don't need to worry about overwatering, underwatering, anything like that. So I'm definitely thinking come Christmas, I might be adding that to my list.
Not at all. I just wanted to say I love you. Guess I didn't know you. You did.
All right, so I'm sure a bunch of you are wondering what in the world I am doing. So I have a couple tricks that I do with curtains in our house, and I found these beautiful linen curtains to go in the dining room that are also going to end up in the family room. And one of the things I did at the old house is I used toilet paper rolls to give the really pretty pleating on the curtains. And you're going to see here how it kind of just holds them in place. Now, I will say if these are curtains that you're going to open and shut all the time, I don't know if I'll use the pool noodles because they're a little bit tighter. But I like that for the dining room because those curtains don't move. They stay exactly where they are. The sunroom has curtains in there that will open and close, and we don't really need them for the privacy. It's definitely more for look. But these give the perfect pleats to be able to just have that really nice, clean, symmetrical look when putting them up. I love that I was able to put these on. They just gave the room so much softness and comfort feeling. It just looks so much better. I always try and hang my curtains floor to ceiling. I feel like they make the room look a lot taller. But the other couple tricks to keep in mind is one, hang your curtain rods at least 6 inches, if possible. Obviously, if your window's right by a wall, you may not be able to do this. But if you can, at least 6 inches wider than your window on each side. And then always measure your window, and whatever the length of your window is, let's say it's a 4-foot window, get 8 feet worth of curtains. You always want to double it. That's going to give it a more finished, complete, luxurious look. A lot of times I notice with people with curtains is they don't have enough curtains. They think of how big the window is, but then it just kind of looks, I don't know. When you look at curtains like in a showroom, they always look full and luxurious and everything. And all that is just making sure you have enough. So keep that in mind when you do the curtains. I want to do a quick before and after because I feel like this is a pretty huge transformation from when we first moved in. All the floors are done, the walls are down, and then getting our own personal touch. I just absolutely love. I feel like my vision is finally coming together, and all of that makes me just so happy.
Since the day you left town, boy, I remember you don't wanna know. It's true, I've forgotten you now. It's true, I've forgotten you now.
So now that I was done with the dining room, once again, another day, but I wanted to work in the kitchen. Like I said, just giving this a fresh coat of paint because it just looks dirty. And it's not dirty, it's just aged. It's an old home, so the paint has discolored. The glue that was holding up the backsplash and everything has discolored. But getting a nice fresh coat of paint made all the difference just to make this whole kitchen feel so much better and make it just more comfortable for now. Obviously, once the new kitchen goes in, all of this is going to get covered, but it definitely makes it feel a lot nicer to be cooking in here and hosting in the house with all of this completed. I did end up, after doing the first coat of paint, at first this paper that was on the wall just would not come off. However, once it got wet from the paint, then it peeled off super easy. So I don't show all that, but we do go in and like scraping off all the paper once it came off easy and doing another fresh coat of paint. But super happy that we made this decision. Plus, you're going to see in just a little bit us putting the pantry together, which I am obsessed with. We're not using it as a pantry right now. We're using it more to hold dishes and pans and stuff. But it turned out so pretty. Honestly, pretty enough that I don't think I would need a door if I wasn't putting food storage on it. We are using it as food storage, so it will get a door, but it turned out so pretty. I am really happy with it.
Decision is made. Lock your door, need no more. It's already paid. Cancel your mail for a while. It's a journey for life, and I'm your ride. Hang on, we'll be long gone. Hang on, I cannot go wrong. We're going away. I get you back. I check the tag. A journey for life, and it's already paid. Cancel your mail for a while. It's a journey for life, and I'm your ride. Hang on, we'll be
I will also say, even in the dining room, I did end up doing about 3 coats to get a really good, solid, even coverage. Over the white walls wasn't nearly as bad as going over the blue wall, but they still needed that even coverage. So I needed to do about 3 coats in the kitchen and then 3 coats in the dining room area, and then I'm sure through the rest of the house as I go, it's going to be 3 coats as well. I know, especially in previous houses, you kind of learn as you go with stuff like this. And in previous houses, I used to pretty much be a 1 coat and done type of person. But it does make such a huge difference when you do an extra coat or 2. The coverage and the look just looks so much more professional and completed. And I'm learning with age and with experience that it's worth taking a little bit of extra time in the beginning and doing it right than being disappointed down the road because you took the little bit of a shortcut.
Can't you see that I'm sorry, love? Let me in, 'cause I know that you're hurting. Please, this is it. Can we give it just one more try? Say, believe in me. Looks like we've waited here for a long time. Looks like we've waited here for a long time. Looks like I've got to prove you wrong, 'cause it's a long shot. I'm in, I got a lot to prove. Looks like we've waited here for a long time. Honey, give me a chance. You will see that I'm trying. Want you to know that I see you the same. Try not to think, oh, let's do like.
So I'm sure you guys have all noticed that all over YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and everything, every store you go into, there is fall everywhere. I have decided this year personally that I will not be decorating really for fall, at least not in August. Maybe I'll get the urge to do it later, but I'm not doing it this early this year. I really just want to get the house decorated for like normal and not holiday. So I'm leaving the fall stuff in the garage. I'm not going to touch it this year. I absolutely love decorating for fall, but I feel like there's so much going on in the house that I don't need to add holiday decorating to it. So that is one thing I will not be doing this year is fall decorating. Like I said, I may do some small little touches, but I really just want to focus on getting the house where we want it to be before worrying about holidays. Now, don't worry, I will not be forgetting Christmas because I just can't. Like, Christmas doesn't feel like Christmas if you don't decorate for it, of course. And we will still be decorating outside for Halloween and Christmas and all of that, because it's like, if you've been following me since the old house and everything, you know we love our decorations. I handle the inside, and yes, I go a little crazy. I go a little all out, but I love it. And my husband's the same way, except he handles the outside of the house. So the outside will definitely still be getting done, and I cannot wait, because it's like, I don't know, it's super exciting to be decorating for a new house, because you do the same one for a while, and it gets very monotonous, even though we try to change it up every year. So this year, having a brand new house, it's going to be so much fun to just learn the best ways to decorate it.
Right here, right now. And even if the world ends, then I'll be fine. No fear, no doubt. I know a place that sneak away. Leave the pain, I'll stay with you. Close your eyes, we'll be reaching paradise. Ooh, 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 ooh. I don't even really know your name, but I'm still high on all love that making me feel alright. I don't even really know your name, but I'm still high on all love that making me feel alright. Yeah. Right here, right now. I didn't even notice your medicine. No fear, no doubt. I know a place that sneak away. Leave the pain, I'll stay with you. Let me hold you, close your eyes.
And then moving on to the pantry, this is just Bobby. He was just installing braces to hold the wood shelves. He was going to film a lot more of this and just kept forgetting. For him too, this is all just learning new things and everything. So I made sure to catch him doing part of it. That way you guys could see a little bit of behind the scenes. So like I said, he's just cutting the bracing, and then he's going to be putting on wood shelves that he built as well, and then I'll be staining them all. But I love that we went with real wood rather than the wire racks. Honestly, it was not more expensive. A little bit more work than the wire racks, but look at it. It is so much prettier being all wood. So I am sliding these shelves out. He did make them so they can slide in and out super easy, but I wanted all the wood bracing to be painted the same color as inside the pantry. That way it just kind of blended and wasn't as in your face that it was there. And then staining all the shelves the same color that I've pretty much stained everything in the house. Inside of the pantry is not the same color as the walls, and I ended up going with not the same color purely because I had pure white in my sprayer and the whole house was already wrapped and everything, and it made it a lot quicker and easier just to spray it down white rather than getting in there later on with this color. And I figured with it being behind closed doors, it wasn't a big deal that it's slightly different, and honestly in person you can barely tell the difference. So this is just a pure white inside the pantry, but it's really pretty and it gives it a nice clean look. I do still have to go in and fill nail holes though. That is one of my huge pet peeves, is when people do these like big renovations and don't do the tedious work of caulking and filling in the nail holes. I feel like that is when projects can look cheap and unfinished. So I always make sure that I go in and do those little finishing touches because it just makes it look more professional. It really does. I normally will caulk the seams, but I like going in with the pink stuff for the nail holes because I just put a little dab on it and then take a wipe and wipe it down, where the caulk can get kind of funky. It doesn't wipe down as nicely. So that is one thing I do recommend. And if you're painting white baseboards, or like in here, just the white on the walls, using the pink stuff, especially if you go in and wipe it down after you put it on, like you honestly don't even need to touch up over white. You can't even see it, and that is a huge help. So I've done that with all the baseboards for the most part, where I go in with the pink stuff, put it in there, and then wipe it down. Also, if you have textured walls, really good, instead of just like slopping on the pink stuff like what I did in the kitchen, but that's a different story. But instead of just slopping it on, putting it in like your little nail hole and then wiping it down, you don't have to worry about that weird of trying to match the texture, and it just gets really difficult to do all that.
Sing along to the midnight radio. Don't wanna wait all my life. Can't remain, no delay. Gotta let it
And then once I was done in here, like I said, I was going to go stain all the shelves. This is that same weathered oak that I used on the coffee table. I used this on Freya's bed. I absolutely love this color. I think it's warm without going to the orange or yellow side. That is the hardest part with doing the warmer tones, is it's like, okay, I want warm tones, but often those tones turn orange or yellow. So I have been experimenting a ton with different colors because I don't want it to go gray either. And I felt like this was that perfect warm tone without being yellow, without being orange, and without being gray. Like all those, it's really hard when you're trying to keep all those colors out. I think I bought about 10 different stains before I finally decided on this one, but it was well worth it. Everything I have put this stain on, I have loved the way it's turned out.
don't care a thing about a word they say. That's how we play. I am here with my friends and we're dancing. We can feel all the obstacles go away. That's how we play. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can never go back this road. We can never go back that way. I see you standing in the corner like it's okay.
And like I said, you gotta go in and fix all those seams. You're gonna see just right here how huge of a difference it makes to go in. This is our power caulker machine. It's probably not called that, but that's what I'm gonna call it. But it has made life so much easier with us doing all the baseboards and all these different projects. it can get like honestly tiring constantly having to squeeze the handle of a caulk gun. So really excited that we found this with Ryobi, and it's worked really, really well. I always like to, after I put it in, I will go in with a wet cloth just to clean it up, try and keep it as smooth as possible, and it always really helps. I have to change the rag regularly or clean it off, but it does make it a lot easier than just using your finger, which is always a mess. I did try in the boys' room, once again, if you're new here, you wouldn't have seen this, trying to do the tape trick where you put it on the floor to keep a cleaner line. I feel like it didn't work. I feel like it just added more time to the process, and I still had to go in and touch up. So I went back to my old ways of just doing a bead, wiping it down, and having it all good. The other thing, so you can't tell on this wall because I had already done it. However, this wall is not straight. Not at all. There's been a couple renovations over the years of this house, and the wall was put in and it's kind of bowed. So when I put this baseboard in, first went in with the pink stuff and filled in the big cracks on the baseboard, and then I went in and caulked it out. That made a huge difference. It's not 100%, but just trying to make it look as close as possible is a big deal. But I'm going to do some after shots here for you, just kind of see how everything is coming along. I'm super excited because I'm hoping Tuesday that you guys are going to see the master bathroom reveal, which I'm super excited about. So if you're new here, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Also, drop a comment down below. It really helps me out with the algorithm. But I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Is this how it feels now?